It does take a little adjustment, doesn't it, Catherine, Princess of Wales? And there is no denying that 2022 to 23 has been transformational, in more ways than one, for Kate, Catherine, the former Duchess of Cambridge. The first way is that huge title change, because on September 8, 2022, upon the death of Queen Elizabeth II, Kate went from being the Duchess of Cambridge, which is impressive, to Catherine, Princess of Wales. The relevance of that title, bestowed on her when her father-in-law became King of England, will be lost on nobody. It raises, so to speak, her ranking. It moves her one step closer to becoming Queen Consort of England. And it bestows on her a title still associated with the most famous royal of the previous century, Diana. Status and expectation-wise, the new title really ups the game for Kate in terms of what she represents to the British people and to the world, which, adding along with Meghan's disappearance from the royal calendar, has placed Kate front and center, alone on a royal and media pedestal, which has also led, we think, to some very deliberate style choices to reinforce that new position. Center days we shall see around the coronation event on May 6, 2023. That's when we first saw Kate assuming her new role in all its ceremonial grandeur, communicating the fact clearly in what she wore. Now this style change has been coming for some time. Nevertheless, this year has seen some major shifts, because if we look back, even some years before the coronation, there were some much more dynamic designs in Kate's wardrobe. In October 2021, for example, when she wore a stunning red Christopher Kane skirt and Ralph Lauren polo neck, or in 2020 when she wore Alexander McQueen the BAFTA ceremony. These examples from the early 2020s are very typical of Kate's style then and now, slim and monotoned in the first example, her favorite designer in the second. But there is a degree of freedom in both these earlier outfits. The first has two designers for a dynamic, formal but quite sensual outline. The second uses an artisan leaf pattern. Kate so rarely uses patterns or gold/brown nowadays. Kate's wardrobe has been getting more conservative since her risque 20s and 30s. But there has always remained a sense of the happy accident about her style wins. That's Kate's charm, a knockout beauty who could wear formal and relatively dark clothing, but who sometimes, seemingly without thought, reminds you just how pretty and elegant she is. Here in a lovely flower-patterned black McQueen dress in 2017, and here at Wimbledon in 2018 in a quite curvaceous Dolce & Gabbana dress. But nowadays that shapeliness and those patterns have become less a feature of Kate's wardrobe. A more austere approach has entered the fray. She isn't dressing with quite as much fun or freedom. She is dressing tactically, with the aim of cementing her future queen role. And this is all evident in some very interesting ways. The first minor tremor occurred 2 years ago, when Kate attended the Wildlife Photographer of the Year ceremony at the Natural History Museum. Kate looked great, but two facets really stood out: her use of black to a daytime event, the first time she'd done that, and the fact that she wore a Alexander McQueen blazer over trousers. This shift of color and style proved pivotal in how Kate would dress going forward. Let's focus on Kate's use of color in 2022 by 23. That Kate has become extremely scientific in her application of the color wheel, with Great British Blue, White, and Red/Maroon being her most common primaries, with Scott greens in the mix too. Over her 3 color choices, she never combines more than 3 colors and usually wears 1 or 2. White and blue average out as the most common. Black is also a high volume but neutral backup, mostly. Just look at the colors she wore around and during the coronation event, which barely deviated from this resolute combination. Kate looked nice, of course. Stunning, in fact. Really good. Very uncomplicated formal dressing. Virtually no patterns. 1 or 2 tone outfits. But it all says future queen. Kate is conductor of the Royal Orchestra, and in Meghan's absence, rhythm section and drums too. And then we get to the styling. Kate has always been an elongated dresser, at a slim 6 feet in heels. This makes sense in a long dress, or a long coat, or in a slim-fitted coat and skirt. But 2022 by 23 witnessed a total shift to full-length portrait Kate, the kind of silhouette that will look stately 100 years from now on the palace staircase wall. Those long dresses, or svelte jackets and slacks. A lot of this has to do with Kate's subtle weight changes. In her 40s, she has lost quite a bit of weight, presumably with her health and legacy in mind. This has worked to accentuate her height, making loose, tight, or blocky multicolored outfits even less suitable. This is one reason why the designer Sarah Burton at AM has always been such a favorite. McQueen works well for tall, slim types and businesswomen, and that's really the area that is most significant in Kate's 2022 by 23 wardrobe. Added to the fact she's dressing in more uniform colors and wearing slimmer, smarter outfits, she is also dressing more like a businesswoman, even in McQueen. More monotone outfits, a lot of business suits, more trousers. Seems odd that the future queen should be dressing more for the boardroom and office. especially when high-ranking royals like Queen Rania combine regal panache and UN-level formality with relative savoir-faire. But in the 21st century, Kate's look speaks volumes not just to the kind of ideals she wants to promote now, but also to the kind of people she wants to communicate with. Not other royals necessarily, but a new kind of Brit. Is Kate's new audience the new female independent, fashion-savvy, wealthy, and working Brit? A change in title means the assumption of queenly styles, the adoption of royal colors, less patterns, and a slimmer fit that is also more business-centered slacks and jackets that hint at where Kate and a professional working class are heading for the next decade and beyond.